Good morning. So yesterday, my family and I went out to Silver Sands Beach, and that's in Milford. And it was for Father's Day type of thing, and I'm kind of glad we went. I've been, because this is where I found a lot of these, what I deem it to be like teeth, carved teeth, and you can see this. I'm holding one, and it looks like a mammoth facing the right. You can see its trunk and the tusk. And yeah, this one I love to show because, I had it for a while and I didn't even notice all these little things on it, but you can see the human face looking to the left. And if I turn it this way, there's kind of a bear head looking to the right. See the nose and the eye there. I can keep turning this. It's a cat head that way. So yeah, that's one of the nicer ones. You can still, okay, there's animal head looking to the left here, nose, eye, that becomes an ear. Imagine the imagination on, it's not just my imagination, I'm just finding these things. So you go to the beach, pick up some rocks and study them for a little bit. They might be not what you would expect. So I'll go back to that. Yeah, if you watch the video, you can see what I picked up. But unfortunately, the wind was very strong. Well, like most beaches, blew my head off when I was making the video. And all you hear is wind at some points. But I'm going to go over again what I had found. I'm going to just get these ones out of the way. When you see patterns in nature, it's like, just let that be something, I don't want to say, oh, these are, for a fact, these are the tips of whale teeth. But if they were just rocks, what's the chance of them having very similar shapes? So there's some barnacles. I tried washing them off yesterday. So this is the one that I picked up previously that I deemed to be a broken whale tooth with a scrimshaw on it. So you can see there's a face looking to the left. You can see some other things going on here. It looks like there was a face in there. This looks like there's something going on there. It's like a spiraling pattern. Somebody looking at it was insistent that this was a mammoth head. And if that's true, and possibly one here too, what do you think? Does that look like a mammoth head? So that would give you an idea how old this was and how long ago people were. The sperm whale. The sperm whale was is my state's animal, but we don't have sperm whales, coming around anywhere near the state. But maybe they were thousands of years ago. That does kind of look like a mammoth. But it's like, yes, it has the cementum on the outside and the dentin. It has the Hunter Schrager bands, or whatever you call it, these lines coming here. And I've shown these, I've taken this to an archaeologist and go, look what I found. This is a whale tooth, and it has like this ridge on the side. I've compared it to scrimshawed teeth and stuff. Now usually like a scrimshawed tooth is going to be kind of hollow in there, so maybe it's just like the tip. I don't know. But that same angle is there. So this is missing the tip up here. So what if I was to take this piece and just kind of like shrink that up, kind of like that. I'm doing this with one hand. So, I mean, even look at the width of it. I'm sure it's not the same size. I'm sure it's not from the same specimen. But even these angles, okay? You see this thickness? When I was washing, you could see that there's an outer layer, an inner layer. So for a tooth, that's cementum indentum. This one, see, it's got an outer layer. I haven't done the black light test on it, but I mean, it still has like, you know, little pitted lines. I mean, it's, you know, it's awful. It's awful sus, right? All right, so I'm going to put those away because that's not, I just didn't feel like talking about that and have everyone say you're insane. Okay. This one has a mouth there. It's a little animal. Can I see anything else? Possibly a face over here. Put that over there. This one I found on the island. So it has that open mouth, eye, nose, ear. Do I see anything else on it? Possible. But that's the thing that jumps out at me. Because I have taken all the stones that have that kind of like Pac-Man shape. When you put them all together, you see a pattern. Okay. This one was from the island. First thing I mean, it's kind of like, it's not that extravagant, but there's a nose there, and then there's the chin. And we look very carefully, you could see where someone tried to scratch in there. There's the nose. And then this way, you've got an animal, probably a bear or something. Ear here, nose here. This one didn't have too much on it. I kind of see something like, okay, nose, mouth, ear over here. This one, my hunch is it's got its mouth open. I'm kind of intrigued by it because my guess is it might be the sloth. It might be the sloth. But you can also see animal head, front leg, back leg. This way you've got possible human nose with a pointy chin. this guy was kind of cool. And just the coloration of this rock artifact or whatever it is, what was it before it was carved? So I see an animal head facing this way to the right. You can see these marks here. There was one, which way did I have it? This way too, facing the right. Ear, eye, nose, and a human effigy, which is kind of funny. That little barnacle kind of like is right in the eye. That's kind of funny. There's a mouth there. You see him? He's got some interesting hair or headdress thing going on there. Maybe he's looking to the right now. This one was on the tombolo, and you see the mouth, and you can see the scratch marks to create that nostril. And then there's the eye was scratched in there and pecked at. This might have been more nicely detailed. Okay. There was something else I saw about it. Okay, this way. Animal eye, nose, open mouth, ear. But I am pretty sure that that's a tooth. Okay, this is the one. This is so like old and washed down, and this is what I was saying in my video the other day. There was a face on this side, a human effigy, if you could see it, like the eye and the nose was there, but it's really worn down, and that's something about teeth is I think they will wear down faster than an actual rock would. They'll get polished off. Ivory wood, I mean, especially in water. This, I don't, I'm not going to say what I think it is, but open mouth here. If you don't believe me, that was the intent. There's an eye right in there. The ear is back here. There's a nose. If you turn it over this way, it's so faint, but there's an eye there. There's a nose there, and there's the mouth. Ear is back here, but it's so polished down, but you can see that. So the nose line, mouth. Cool. Okay. So things I have found before. This was like one of the first that just kind of intrigued me. And this is, I didn't know it was a tooth at first, but look at this outside. The sloth teeth can look really nasty on the outside. So this would be the cementum. It was pitted. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, what is this? It looks like something. It looks like it was worked, but I see this animal here. It's got its claws there, front forelimb, back forelimb. And, first thing you might think is it's a bear. That's a sloth. And then closer inspection, it's got its baby riding on its back. So that's, you can kind of see it like turning if you turn it. There's the claws up at its face. So that's a kind of a hint as to what kind of animal was leaving behind these large teeth. There was a stone that I found the other day that I held up, and it was same as this one. You can see I drew all over this. So on this side, you've got a kind of a cat head looking to the left here, but then it's also open mouth looking to the right. And then I traced this guy. So I was just holding up that stone, and you couldn't hear anything I was saying because the wind was blowing against the microphone, and it's the same type of stone. You know what, it looks like there might have been another mammoth like kind of formed in there, but this, you know, it's so polished down, you can't make heads or tails out of something like this. Oh, see, I found another mammoth in there. So what I'm saying is, you know, these, you know, this is a culture that's long gone. So this was also a tooth piece, and you can see the wolf head. And I probably picked this up at Silver Sands. All this stuff, I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. This one, you see the mammoth in there. I've traced it, and you can see that tusk. So this is some kind of ungulate tooth. And if you want to just like argue with me and say, oh, that's just a rock, why on earth, if these hunter-gatherers, why would they pick up a very, you know, rocks are hard to carve unless it's like marble or something. They used every piece of things that they killed. Okay, and another thing about teeth is they have like what's called Schrager lines or hunter Schrager bands, which usually, you know, like if you're looking at something like the lines go upward, you've got like a grind surface, things like that. This, like, I've also taken them and kind of lined them up so to show, see, you've got a animal carved right on the top of this. These people are going to be very proud of the things that they took down. You can see right there. It's kind of carved in there, kind of rough, very rough, but it's like a square shape, like rectangle shape. There's a nose there and a mouth there. And I think this would be the grind surface up here. And it's polished down by the ocean. And I have a theory that when the glaciers melted, a lot of these things weighed less, and it probably settled up on the beach in the Tombolo, and that's why I find that stuff more easily. Like I was telling this one guy at the museum, one of the museums, that about finding sloth teeth at the beach, and they're like, well, that's not their habitat. Maybe not. Did you know that like elephants, they're large and they need to travel very far to go to the ocean because they need the salt. So the sloths are also very large, but also if this stuff is sitting on a glacier and it melts and it settles, it's not wrong. I don't know. It's like I just think we as humans can't wrap our heads around a lot of things, and so when I'm trying to say this stuff, I mean, you got to be open-minded. I'm not saying it's fact, and that's why a lot of us have trouble with theories, because were we actually there? I have another theory about that, but what can we prove? This one has like a face on it somewhere. I've just been turning it. There's this kitty. Everybody loves kitties. I should have named her Harley, because her motor sounds like a yeah, she just loves. Okay, well, I'll put that. I'll leave it at that.